Hello, Gero Class 541. My name is Sarah Menser, and I live in Denver, Colorado. This is my last semester of my MSG. It's taken me about 3 years. I have 2 little kiddos and one on the way, and I'm hoping to start a career in gerontology starting next fall. In fact, the piece that I'm working on and going to explain to you, my executive summary, is the company that I'm actually hoping to work for. They're based here in Denver. So, that being said, this is my executive summary for Masterpiece Living. The purpose: to define Masterpiece Living and explain its roots in the research of the MacArthur Study of Successful Aging, and how these roots provide structure for the program it offers to help individuals and communities age successfully. Masterpiece Living is a culture as much as it is a program. Its goal is to educate seniors about the lifestyle choices available to help them age more successfully. It also provides them with the opportunity to practice these choices through organized programs. Masterpiece Living is based on partnerships with senior living centers and active adult communities. It shares its philosophies and opportunities for successful aging through a variety of structured programs. Masterpiece Living is an innovative program developed as a direct application of the research done by the MacArthur Foundation of Successful Aging. This research led Masterpiece Living to develop its program offerings based on four key findings by the study, which were found to be important for successful aging. The first is intellectual, the second is physical, and the third is social. The fourth element is spiritual, which was added later on. Let's take a look at the research behind the program. In 1984, due to the lack of knowledge on America's growing aging population, the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation assembled a team of scholars to study aging in 3 different aspects: biological, physiological, and social. Their method was to conduct many separate longitudinal studies in these areas using the research skills of a team of 16 scientists from diverse backgrounds, and one of those is a USC faculty member, Dr. Edward Schneider. Their goal, quote, was to move beyond the limited view of chronological age to identify the genetic, biomedical, behavioral, and social factors responsible for retaining and even enhancing people's abilities to function in later life. End quote. This in turn gave rise to what they call the new gerontology, which is based on the view that aging is comprised not only of genetic factors and chronological factors, but more specifically related to lifestyle choices. The MacArthur Study and Masterpiece Living both define successful aging by 3 main components: low probability of disease and disease-related disability, high cognitive and physical functioning, and active engagement with life. The many longitudinal studies conducted by the MacArthur Study over more than a 10-year period suggested that lifestyle choices, not genetic or usual aging, were primarily responsible for how individuals aged. Let's look at each of these 3 components separately. The probability of disease and disease-related disability, which is the first one, is mostly determined by environmental factors, not genetics or usual aging factors. This component is linked to the other 2 defining components of successful aging: cognitive, physical functioning, and engagement with life. So they're all really interlinked. 4 predictors, next we'll talk about the cognitive. 4 predictors of high cognitive functioning were found: education, strenuous activity in and around the house, peak pulmonary flow rate, which is how much oxygen you can expel when you exhale, and self-efficacy. Education was the largest predictor of how you functioned cognitively later in life. and how much previous education you had had was a determinant, as well as how active you were in continuing to learn as you aged through life, not just specifically school studies. Physical function was linked to higher income levels and lower body fat percentages. Those who engaged in daily activities such as walking, exercise, or strenuous housework had better physical functioning. Finally, the third element has two main elements: productive and meaningful activities. This is the social aspect. Productive and meaningful activities and healthy interpersonal relationships. Those individuals who avoided isolation and spent time each day connecting with others and participating in meaningful activities were more likely to age successfully. The three components all play a role in successful aging independently, but together they increase the probability of successful aging. Masterpieces Living's founders took this information and developed their program with these three components at heart. Later, like I said before, after its importance was discovered through research, spirituality was added as the fourth element, or what they call the fourth pillar. Through its partnership with senior communities, Masterpiece provides research-based programs for implementation into the community. Each community can choose to implement as few or as many programs as they desire. Programs are designed to be held daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly or bi-yearly. An example of a daily program might include an announcement with an educational tidbit about successful aging. A weekly program might include a Tai Chi class or a pickleball game. An example of a monthly program might include a class which meets to discuss different world religions, and they talk about a different religion each month. And these are just some examples. They have lots and lots of programs. And an example of a yearly or a bi-yearly program would include, one example is a program called Neurobics, which is a program developed by Masterpiece Living. It's 5 weeks long, and it meets once a week for 5 weeks. I believe it's once a week for 5 weeks. And they focus on cognitive stimulation and education about skills. They learn tools for improving their cognitive functioning. Not only does Masterpiece provide the framework for the programs that they have developed, they include an introduction to other important successful aging programs, such as the Stanford Chronic Disease Self-Management Program, which is educational based, and it helps people learn how to better manage their own chronic diseases. The other important aspect of Masterpiece Living worth mentioning is their survey and data collection process. After programs have been established with a partner, a questionnaire called the Lifestyle Review is conducted with all willing participants. The data from this survey is then compiled and used by the partner and by Masterpiece Living to assess the success of the program and evaluate areas of possible weakness and possible strength. So it's kind of their own internal way of evaluating how the program's going and if it's helping the people who are using it. Let's see. The data is also compiled with the hopes of one day using it for the public policy realm. So in the end, Masterpiece Living would be able to collect enough data over enough years that they can take that and use it to influence public policy. A comprehensive research-based program, Masterpiece Living provides senior communities the opportunity to stay on the leading edge of senior living through its programs and culture of successful aging. So if you have any questions about Masterpiece Living, I really would encourage you to check out their website. They have they're partnered with 70 communities across the country. I don't know where all those are. There's 4 here in Colorado. But their website gives more detail on their programs. And check out and see if there's one near you so you can check them out. They're really great. So I really appreciate your attention today. Have a wonderful end of your semester, and I look forward to watching everyone else's presentations. Thank you.